tribal patterns have never gone away. Tribes for protection. There's very few people that live on their own, that live out in the woods. There's a few monks and stuff like that, but it's protection. Tribal patterns are protecting. That's what I learned in Iran. It was all tribes. And everybody said, well, this is 1976, 78. They don't have tribes. It's a whole tribal pattern. In Persia, there's 3 words in Farsi, and one is parti blazi, which is special favors, puru, which is or parti blazi is, parti blazi is I think that's plead on my behalf. Puru is special favors, and then there's pool, which is money, and those are 3 tribal things. So if you know somebody that knows somebody else, I ask you to plead on my behalf. I want a special favor. And when the kings used to take for example, King Cyrus the Great was one of the greatest kings ever. He'd go through in the processions, and then people they'd shout out things, or we need food, or we need tents, or we need something else, and his scribe would take that stuff down and do it. And the function of tribes is a success mechanism, so that people can survive, and their children will be safe, their wives, and the tribe can fight for the people and keep the people safe, and that's the tribal patterns. And we're still running on tribal patterns. Drugs, alcohol. Actually, alcohol is they say that in the original caves, when people went out hunting, they'd come back to the caves. So they would draw on the cave walls, and they'd draw up all these beautiful animals and stuff, and then they would take the blood of the animal and dump it into a skull, and they would pass the skull around and drink, and they'd talk about the fight, the hunt, and stuff like that. And they're all tribal patterns. And then you talked about the idols of the marketplace, the idols of the cave. I think that was Francis Bacon that wrote about that. And it all goes back to tribal patterns. We're still in tribal patterns. Whether we're at the Ritz, we're members of the Ritz Club. That's a little tribe. We're members of a clothing. We're designer stuff. It's all tribal patterns protect us. And because of the abuse today and the electronics, that people don't have tribes. So they go to a bar, or they go take drugs or whatever. So they get into these tribal groups that they feel their groups will protect them, and alliances.